Good evening, all of you. So today's classes, we are focusing more on the sprint strategy. The sprint, why we say sprint is that we know that after the eliminating even today's, like if delete the today also, we are like the total days remaining for the prelims is 10 days from the 26th from tomorrow to till the 4th of June. If we'll calculate, we have the maximum number of days that to spend for the prelims is the 10 days. So these 10 days are, we call it as the sprint, when the athletes, they were running across the track for like finishing the 200 meter, 400 meter, 800 meter, like those race. So the final lap, they are using the sprinting strategy, much faster running, and towards the end of the race on the similarly in our exam, this is like that track. We are towards the end of this, like towards the nearest to the exam, we have to do some strategy, some smart strategy with regard to revision of those topic, with regard to the test series practices, including CSAT, and how to spend these 10 days as a sprint strategy to clear the prelims examination is the target, or that is what objective of today's sessions. And most of you have the same doubt with regard to how to spend these 10 days effectively for clearing the prelims examination, and what to do in these 10 days, what subjects we need to study in these states, what areas we need to invest. These things will be in your mind. So today's session, I'm happy to assist you in these regards, how to spend the 10 days before the prelims exam. So we have 10 days. The more focus we have to give in these days are for the revision. Whenever I'm saying revision, it means that we are not studying anything new. So all of you do not require to study anything new from now onwards. You have to stop reading new things from today and till the end of the prelims examination. So these 10 days are the complete revision days, or the revision process of whatever the things we have learned through the classes, whatever the things we have read earlier from the books of Lakshmikant, books of other sources, including Spectrum or the ACS material, your notes, the class notes, your current affair notes. So the entire learning process which you have done till now, we will completely do the revision of all those things. Even you can see when an athlete in an Olympics or in any sports event, when they were throwing these shot puts, they have to get back in a little slide. You can see in the image, the person is going little bit at pushing back himself. That means even though we have enough knowledge on certain subject, in order to improve our learning skills and in order to remind those content in our memory, we have to do the revision, even those subjects we are strong enough. So this is why revision process is important. So how many revision we have to do with regard to subjects? One revision may reach you some certain point that may not be sufficient to be like getting the answers right in the prelims examination. So we will do second time, we'll throw the short put again like this, like the same subject, we'll read it again. So the revision 2 will little bit improvement will be there in the remembering those content we have studied. And also we'll do again as a part of revision 3, and revision 3 will be more effective and it will be stay there and definitely will help you in the prelims examination. So this way, the revision process, how much you are revision, how much times you have revised the subjects, will improve your learning, will improve your scoring that subject. That's why most of the achievers, most of the successful aspirant always suggest you to do the revision at the maximum time. So you have to make a schedule how you are going to spend these 10 days in a strategic way. So you have to make a plan according to your convenience. So in these 2 slides, I'm showing you some examples of how to approach, how to make a plan of these 10 days or the coming 10 days, and how to handle with these 10 days, how to spend with these 10 days. First priority, all of you have to give like a priority to the static subjects like economy. And we already mentioned that economy, every prelims, every year, there will be 30 to 35 questions are coming from economy, including agriculture economy. So including agriculture, including external economy, external sector, the banking sector, inflation, there are a lot of modules under economy, including the budgets and economic survey. Those, the syllabus of economy, if we calculate every year, now the trend is like 25 to 30, 34 questions are coming from economy. So we cannot neglect, we cannot ignore the importance of economy. So the static subjects, you got the classes of Sajid sir, you've got the ICS material, you have got the notes, you also made a class notes according to the Sajid sir classes, and you have attended the test series, and you have seen a lot of questions with regard to economy. Some current affair related to economy also covered in the class. Even the budget, we have somewhat classes we have started, but the remaining classes will be coming on Friday and Saturday also, and you don't have to worry. We'll take the classes and we'll be able to solve the question. So economy or ecology, like ecology, you know that the same examination is for the Indian Forest Service. So ecology, we cannot ignore. Like there will be 15 to 20 questions from ecology. So ecology, when you read ecology, you have to associate with geography, especially the forest ecosystem, the land, the geomorphology, the geography concept also you have to link with ecology. So when you study ecology, it will be better if you link it with the geography, especially the NCERT has covered integrated manner of the ecology and the geography. So whatever the current affair associated with ecology or economy, you have to relate it with. So the priority in the initial days of from tomorrow or 26, you have to give the priority to static subject like the lot of questions coming from economy. So you have to give priority to this major important subject. That means major important means how many questions are coming from this subject. Because economy, if you study well, and it is very easy, because once you learn the concept, you will never forget. For example, polity, the subject which we are forgetting very easily. And when you read a polity, you will feel like it is very interesting. And also Sajid sir take the classes very well, and very understanding manner he take the classes as well. So when we attend the classes or read the polity material, we feel like it is very much interesting and understandable. But the next day or the second day, it's like we are forgetting the things we have learned from the polity. So the polity, the nature of polity is, when we read polity, we'll think it is very easy. But the next day or the third day, we'll forget the things we learned in the polity subjects. Similarly, in case of economy, if we compare the polity with economy is different. Economy has a lot of concept like money supply increases, money supply reduces, or what are the RBI measures to control the money supplies. So what are the operation like security markets? What are the operation security markets? What are the banking policy? What is repo rates? What is reverse repo policies? These are some facts, some concept. If you learn these concepts, then it will be remain in your head and we will never forget it. We do not have to read it repeatedly, but few revision is required to make a clarity of those concepts. If you know the concept very well, you will be easily, like you will be able to solve the question very easily. And throughout this session also, I have included some the economy related questions. We'll also solve how to solve those questions with regard to concepts. So if you learn the concept of economy very well, you are able to solve the questions. Out of 30, you will be able to solve 20 to 25 questions from economy, as well as the ecology, the climate change, energy conservation, solar energy, related. Even Glasgow summit was recently held. So those they're related to climatology, the ecological conventions, international conventions, India's effort for combating the climate change, related facts, the species, protected areas, Ramsar site, all those are important as part of ecology. So definitely we can expect 15 to 20 questions from ecology. That means there are a lot of weightage for. Out of 100 questions, economy and ecology combined, we can say 40 to 45 questions are coming. So we cannot ignore these subjects. We have to prioritize from tomorrow. Then 27th, if you prioritize economy on 26 and ecology, then you can prefer 27 with polity. It's according to your like weak and strong area. Like if you are like very weak in polity, you must invest in polity and read it very in a clear manner. So polity subject you can choose. You have to read especially those areas which are relevant. For example, fundamental rights. fundamental duties were in the news, DPSP, preambles of the Indian constitutions. After that, the parliament module. So these some of the modules, even Sajid sir given has emphasis on certain module, which there have asked a lot of questions from one India. So in parliament, normally 4 to 5 questions are asked. So those module you have to pick, and every year election related questions also asked. So election, the module related to Election Commission of India, the election or the procedure of election, the qualification of the MLA or MPs, etc. are very important. So that's areas of the polity. You have to choose this, the titles, and you have to prioritize and read polity, history, science and technology, current affair. Like that, you have to prioritize on 27th areas. I will tell you towards the end of the session, also tell you what to read, and when you revise the subject, how to revise the subject, will be discussing in the throughout the classes. In this slide, I'm just explaining how to make a schedule until the 4th of June, and 28th, after you read the static portions of economy, ecology, geography together, and 27, you are also covered the politics, history, science, and technology, whatever the subject you are able to cover, including the current affair. Then the 28th of this May, you have to pick up the UPSC previous year question of the 2019. Take the question paper of 2019, which will be available in UPSC website. You can also find it in Google also. If you have in your hand the UPSC 2009, better you can print the UPSC previous year question, and you can do the practice by offline, because we are going to appear this examination in offline mode. So till now, most of you have practiced the test in online mode. So better take a printout of UPSC 2019, 2020 and 21. The last 3 years of UPSC prelims question paper, you can take a printout, and you have to make a schedule of 2 hours. Better you can start from the morning. If you are free from any work, if you are not working person, if you are completely free, you can choose 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. as the UPSC time for practicing the UPSC 2019 question. Please read the question very carefully, and the attempt, like maximum, you try to attempt the number of questions and attempt around 80 to 90 questions in the 2019. Also analyze yourself how much score you got. So after the 11 a.m. the examination, you can take a break, and if you have time, you can practice or you can revise the CSAT classes you have attended from the ACS, which also taken by Sajid sir. I hope you have you have attended the classes of the Sajid sir with regard to CSAT. So whatever the concept, whatever the strategy, whatever the method, the shortcuts, the concept, you like the rational number, prime number system, and the unit digits, how to solve this syllogism related questions, the 3 statement type, 4 statement type, neither, either one, nor one. So these concepts you learn from the CSAT classes. So those classes, you have the access to the video also. Certain concept, if you still find very difficult to solve, please go through the CSAT classes and revise those concepts. Without revising the classes, you will never able to solve the question much faster. Maybe you are strong in mathematics, maybe you are strong in the reasoning, but it is not about whether you're strong or wrong. It is also matter how much speed you are able to solve a question in the prelims examination in the case of CSAT paper, which is a second paper which will attend after the GS1. So CSAT class revision, you can schedule on 28th, the same day you have to practice the entire question of 2019 and spend 2 hours for that. Then only you will understand how the UPSC set a question, how the words they are using, what are the keywords we find, how the keyword went wrong, how the keyword went right, what are the areas they are asked repeatedly. These things you will understand. Then 29th, you can make an invest on your weak subjects. That means especially those subjects, you have to identify the weak subject. You can invest on 29th as a static portions. Then current affair, if you have like hard copy, not like I also have keeping a small current affair note with me. So I have listed off a lot of current affair in the books. So you can also revise the current affair notebooks either in the digital format or like the hard copy if you have in your hand, or any the sticky note which you have posted, or if you have a test series of the current affair, you can also revise the test series with regard to that. Plus CSAT revision is also important. If any topic you remind, or if there is something left on the previous day, those remaining topic you can do the revision on the 29th. Then 30th of the May, you can again invest a lot on the static strong subject. Like some of you are strong in polity, some of you are strong in economy, So these strong subject also you have to invest. So you have to identify which subject are you strong, which subject you are weak. The strong subject means that if there is a 10 question was asked from your the strong subject, at least you must get 80 answers right. So even though it is a strong subject, you cannot ignore because you may forget, especially in the case of polity, in the case of history. So these are fact-oriented subjects. So you have to revise the static subject which are strong on 29, like 30th. 29, you are investing on weak subject. 30th, you are investing on the strong subjects. Then the same day, you can pick up the 2 p.m. because normally UPSC CSAT examination happens at 2 p.m. after the lunch. So once you invest on the static subjects if you are completely, I'm talking about those who are free completely in a day. So the working people, I will tell you different time according after that. On 30th, after you had a lunch, take a break and set a time of 2 to 4 p.m. You can take the CSAT UPSC paper of 2020. Take a print of the UPSC CSAT question paper of 2020 and practice it from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. That is the real exam time of the UPSC. Why I am emphasizing on this time, because if you practice this examination exactly of the UPSC time, definitely you know whether you feel sleepy after lunch, what is the accuracy level of you at this lunch, like the post-lunch time, how you are able to understand the passage, how you are able to solve the mathematical questions with that time. So your efficiency and the real efficiency you can easily understand if you solve the perfect time like the UPSC. Then on 31st, the static strong subject, again you have to revise, especially you have to give emphasis on the polity, because polity is the subject which we forget easily. So take polity, whether you are strong or weak, you take a polity, especially the fundamental rights, the chapters of the unit 1, the chapter 1. Then you can also take the parliament module, you can take election module, you can take constitutional bodies and non-constitutional bodies. Those topics is panchayat and municipality, scheduled areas, scheduled tribes. These are the modules where repeated questions are asked. So repeated areas are coming from those. So take polity also, give emphasis of that, revise. The same day you can practice the UPSC Prelims examination 2020. Already you have done 2019 question paper and you have taken the printout of UPSC 2020 also. Schedule, like make a time like 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Fix a time schedule and attend the test UPSC Prelims of 2020. And 2 hours you have to invest on 2020 question, solve the questions and follow the keywords, follow the techniques we have already taught in your classes, whatever the things you learned till now. With that knowledge, try to apply, try to solve the questions of UPSC 2020 question within that 2 hours. Then the 1st June, the next month, that is the month we are going to appear the prelims. The 1st June, again you have to invest, you have to pick up the static, the strong subjects. Again, I am telling the strong subject we are revising more, because in the strong subject we are happy to study also. And when we see the question, we will be able to get right answer much better. So if we invest weak subject, we will feel like worries, we will feel like a stress in our mind. It will have a negative effect on also. So it better than spending weak subject more. It is better to spend on strong subject and make a clarity, and you will never like mistake on those strong subjects. Even if you make a mistake on strong subjects like polity or economy, if you are strong, if you make a mistake on those subjects, the worry will be high as compared to other. So invest on strong subject, revise those subjects. Current affair also you have to revise on first, and CSAT revision include that. 2nd June, you have to practice both examination of GS1 and the CSAT practice, CSAT exam together on 2nd June. The 2nd June, you have to take the UPSC 2021 question paper, which is the last year UPSC Prelims examination question paper. Morning 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. you can solve the UPSC 2021 question 2 hours. Then after between that, you can take a lunch. Then you can revise the CSAT classes. Then after 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. you can solve the UPSC Prelims CSAT 2021 question paper. If you have to take a printout, and you have to do both the GS1 in the morning and the GS2, the CSAT paper in the afternoon. So that means 2nd June is also you have to take as your exact prelims, and you are practicing as a mock of UPSC previous year question. You can schedule the 2nd June. The 3rd June, which is the final round of revision, we will take entire subjects we will go in and around like 1, 2, 3 in a fast manner, a fastest sprinting model. The revision, the final round of revision will be on 3rd June, especially on the static subject. Again, we will give emphasis on the polity subjects. Current affair revision, if you have a small notebook, you can revise it. So 3rd June is the final round of revision, and mostly if your center is like 5 hours or 6 hours far from your home or your hostel, wherever you are staying, so in the 3rd June, most of you will be shifting to the center or the locality which you are going to appear the exam. Now, the center of which I am taking the class is now in Dibrugarh, and my center is in Gauhati also. So I am planning to go to Gauhati. Gauhati is 10 hours far from Dibrugarh, which is 10 hours of journey from Dibrugarh to Gauhati. So I prefer to go early to the Gauhati and settle there before the examination. So I'm planning to go on 2nd June evening, and by 3rd I will reach there in Gauhati by 3rd June. So I will be taking a room outside, like the rental or maybe the hotels. So I'll be spending 3rd, 4th, 5th days in the Gauhati. So this is the plan that I'm making for the prelims examination. That means if your center is far away from home, especially more than 5 and 6 hours of journey, it is better to reach there a day before the examinations if you can afford the room and etc. So it is better to go the center before the day. So it is not suitable for you to go on the day, especially, and also the night before the examination. It is better to take a relax. You have to see a relaxation time on 4th June. So after the final revision on 3rd June, the 4th June is the last day. And those days we will never recall, we will never try to remember anything, we will never try to memorize anything, and we have to say ourselves, believe in ourselves. We have done 1.5 years of investment for that. We have studied 2 years for this. We have studied 3 years for this. Like those who couldn't clear the previous prelims, they are into this examination more than 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. So this is the last day before the prelims examination, like the 4th June. So in the 4th June, you have to talk to yourself and you have to believe in yourself. You have invested a lot of time, and all the things you have learned will be in the subconscious mind. So you cannot remember everything in a one day. So never try to recall or memorize anything in your mind. If you feel to read something, you can go on that. The last day, even if you are not studying on the last day, it is fine. If you want to watch movies, it is also fine. If you want to watch series also, it is fine. The last day, you have to keep your mental stability well, the mental health, that is also important. Believe in yourself, and the 5th June, it is exam date, you have to perform well and do your best, because you are going to appear this examination and you have invested 1.5 years. You have enough knowledge and you will be able to solve, and you have to say and believe in yourself. This is the schedule you have to make before the prelims examination, the 10 days. The day will be starting from tomorrow, the 26th. You can make your own schedule also. This is just an example. This is an example. Even the ACS will be continuing the class, so you don't have to worry about the classes. Whatever the classes you are getting throughout these days will be, you have to take it as a revision, not a new learning. So the classes itself, whatever the things you are able to learn it within the classes and revise at that time, or in the morning or the next day morning, you can revise it. Don't worry about the classes, because the classes you can take as a discussion mode. Whatever the topic we are mentioning throughout the classes will be easily remember when you see the question, because these are recent classes near to the prelims. So you don't have to worry about the classes going on in the ACS. We will be continuing somewhat classes which are relevant to the prelims examination. Attend those classes. If you are fine and happy, then attend the classes. It is not even compulsory. If you fail to attend the classes, it will also benefit you, because these are the classes happening in the last days. So those classes will be, you can take as a discussion. Some of the, if you listen to this topic, will be remain in your head, and only 2 hours or the maximum 4 hours may be spending on that. And if you're not like finding better to sit to the classes, you can also choose according to your convenience. According to your convenience, then the recorded classes also you can watch in a faster manner. So this method also you can. And now the priorities, you have to make a schedule from 26th to 5th June. Now the question practice, in these 10 days, we always say the major priority, even more than reading a subjects, it is also better to go through the questions which are relevant for the prelims examination. Not all the test series, because ACS has provided you a lot of questions. We have conducted like a lot of questions, lot of test series. You do not require to revise all the test series we have conducted, but you can choose, like choose intelligent, choose wisely. Like you can pick up the subject wise test. For example, polity, I would suggest you can take the two polity subject wise test series. You can go through that, at least two papers, two polity subject wise test series you can revise. So once you read the polity Lakshmikant book, especially the Fundamental and Lakshmi and the Parliament, you cannot read the entire Lakshmikant in a one day. So you will be reading only Fundamentals or the selective chapters. After reading the selective chapters of Lakshmikant, take the question paper of the ACS which already you have attempted, either in the online mode. You can, if that is accessible to you, you can check your polity subject wise test and revise the test series which you have attempted. Which all the topic you went wrong, which are the topic you got right, those subjects, those topic you can revise. So at least take two question paper. Economy, you only need to take a one question paper, one subject wise. History, ancient, medieval, modern, art and culture, all these subject wise test series you can take individually, and you can also revise those. Ecology and science and technology, you can take at least two question paper subject wise test series. Current affair also, we have conducted full test series of 1 and 2. Two test series of exclusive current affair tests we have conducted. If we have enough time, you can also take and revise the current affair exclusive test rather than reading the current affair. Geography test also, you can take at least one question paper, geography related subject wise test you can revise. And also the last test series of ACS, that is the previous test we have included, like I have included budget related questions and economy survey related questions in the test. Around 35 questions were included from the budget and economy survey in the last ACS full test. So you can also revise the last ACS full test with regard to budget and economy survey. You can also revise these topics through practicing or revising the same test series you have attended. Like that, earlier I have mentioned that the UPSC previous year question practice is very much important. On 28th May, take the print out of UPSC questions paper of 2019, 2020 and 21, because these are the recent question paper with a new trend of asking questions, new trend of areas where came, and these were the most difficult examinations of the UPSC prelims. This is why the 2019, 2020 and 21, you have to take a printout and practice 2019 on 28. If you are having a good schedule on 28, take a time of 9 a.m. If you are a working people, you have to find a time either in the morning, like 7 to or 7 to 8. At least if 2 hours is not possible, at least do it for 1 hour. I would also suggest, if you are not able to solve a question paper fully of 2 hours, you can also do it for maximum or minimum of 1 hour. So minimum 1 hour also you need to spend on this question paper, 2019 question, either in the morning or in the night's time. Those who are working, like working people or working aspirants, those who are not a working aspirant, they are free completely in a day. They have to attempt this, practice this question at the sharp time of UPSC and sit before the 15 minutes, 8:45. You can sit in a table, in your study table or anywhere you are like able to do it perfectly. 8:45 ready. By 9 you will start the test, and you have to end your test by 11 a.m. You have to finish the paper, and the 31st May, as I told you that schedule, 2020 question paper you can have to take, and you have to start the same test by 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. Then 2021 on 2nd June, the same day, we are also practicing the CSAT. So that means even the current affair, with regard to current affair also, I would like to tell you, now you can skip the reading newspaper. Anybody reading newspaper till now, like now, even now, today? So now from today onwards, if you are reading newspaper regularly also, you can skip the newspaper, or if you want to read, you can read only the headlines of the newspaper, major headlines of the newspaper which are relevant to us. It is also better to skip the newspaper. You don't have to read the newspaper and spend on that. After the prelims, you have to restart again your regular schedule of reading the newspaper. Now you can skip the newspaper. you can skip even the current affair magazines, which you are dependent on reading and those content analysis, etc. You do not have to learn or read a new things from outsources or any other outsources. Learning process almost we have done. That means till today, we have done enough investment on learning the things, and we have learned enough content on all the subjects, including the current affairs. So only we need to focus on the revision part and test yourself. That means take a question paper of UPSC or the ACS, the selective test series. You can practice the question paper, and that means whether you are having a clarity on those subjects. That means practice the question, revise it. No learning, no new learning. Revise the subject you already learned. Revise the subject. If it is current affair, read it the current affair. Revise the current affair. Practice the question. If it is static subject, take the polity parliament module. Practice the parliament related questions of the UPSC previous year question or the ACS test series question. You can practice, revise, test yours, revise, test yourself. No new learning. So everything we are learned now, you only need to revise. Because of lack of revision, you are not able to recollect it, or you are not able to recognize when you see a questions. So it is a time for you to revise maximum number of times to make you strong and test yourself whether you are strong enough. And CSAT also, I already told you, the CSAT class are effective in the CSAT classes, like work and time is one area. Then the calendar, the clock related questions are there. Syllogism related questions are there. Percentage are there. Profit and loss type of questions are there. Then reasoning also there. The order of sequences, the in a row, this person, this from the below, from the top ranking, the ranking kind of questions, reasoning kind of questions, the triangle, the shapes, and the rectangular shapes, the concept of numbering system, the number system. There are rational number, the prime number, the unit digit, etc. All these method you have learned throughout the classes. So you have to revise all these concepts, whether you are strong in the clock, whether you are strong in the calendar, whether you are able to solve age related question, whether you are able to solve the work and the time related questions. So all these concepts every year ask one each question or two questions are coming. So you have to go through the classes, revise it and practice it. So concept like number system, prime number, rational number, regularly UPSC pick up these questions and practice more and more. Do the practice. Without practice, you will never able to solve it. Take UPSC Prelims CSAT exclusive question paper 2020 and 21. The last 2 years of CSAT question paper was the difficult paper. Take 2020 and 21 question paper. Similarly, like the GS we did, 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. is the time to practice the CSAT after the lunch. Take a lunch, the normal lunch which you are taking. After that, start your CSAT practice from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. This is the time you have to practice the CSAT. Only then you know your efficiency, your correct efficiency. Only you will understand if you practice the right time of the UPSC. The health precautions also very important. Already in the previous session also I told you the health precautions also very much important. In health precaution, when I say health, it includes the physical health, it includes the mental health, it is also include your social health. Physical health, everybody is aware about. No sick, you are not sick. You have to very careful about the weathering changes. Some areas like even Assam has weathering changes, frequent changes, and unexpected weathering phenomena changes. So it is resulting into cold and other related health diseases we are affecting, or maybe you will be facing any dengue fever. Such kind of things can happen if you do not take care of that. So be careful and take precautions with regard to the physical health. And also better to use the mask also, even though mask is not a compulsory. If you are going into a crowd, any hospitals, like some of you may be going to hospital also, it is also better to keep a mask with you. So all the precautionary measures you have to keep in mind in taking care of the physical health when you go out with the car or with the scooter or even bikes, etc. Also, you need to be very careful. Wear the helmet and please ride the vehicle also very much carefully. Avoid the situations of accident also. So that all these things are very important. Even if you play football, if you play cricket, etc. Also, you have to be very careful with the damages or any accident happen during that. The physical health, you have to be very taking care of that. Mental health, we can also fail. Even those students not studied the 100%, but they have invested a little effort of 25%. 30%, 50%, or 60%, 70% also. They also clear this examination. It is not a matter how much you have studied, how much you are not studied. It is a matter of your mental stability, your believing in yourself, your self-confidence on that particular day of the prelims day or the prelims examination day, how you are strong enough to attempt the examination, how you are able to recognize the information and attempt the question with using the strategies. So nobody can say that you are going to fail. That is not a reality. So if you are believing now that I am going to fail this year is a negative thoughts. If you feel so, you are going to fail. So if you are thinking in a way that you are going to fail, avoid that kind of negative thoughts. Nobody is going to fail this examination till you say yourself that I'm not going to appear the examination, or you say I'm not suitable to the UPSC examination, I'm skipping the UPSC examination, or I'm leaving the UPSC preparation. If you say only, we would say that you are failing in this examination. That means if you're targeting to appear this examination and if you're preparing for this examination very seriously, means that you are not failing in a UPSC exam. If you are consistent, if you are going with this mental stability and with an happiness, with an enjoying, with a mood of the studies, definitely you are going to clear this examination. Nobody is failed. So you do not have to think that I am going to fail this year. Nothing will happen. It doesn't matter how much you studied, how much you are not studied. It is matter that your attitude towards the exam. Whether you are confident enough to attempt this examination, whether you are ready to attempt this examination with the fullest effort and with the fullest mental stability, with a good health. So the mental strength is also important. The social health means you should not go for the fighting with the people. So normally in human relations or human like the communications or human friendship circles, the family relationship, we may face some difficult situation where we fight with the other persons. So normally we have to control ourselves. So it is better to avoid the conflict with one another person in the social interactions. It is also, even if you have a good political ideologies, you may be like commanding in some sections of debate. So there will be a lot of debates going on outside. And sometimes if your command maybe like went on discussions, can also affect your mental stability, your thinking, and it can also suffer you a lot. So better to avoid the political discussion also, maybe your social media groups, maybe in the Facebook's social media discussions, social sphere discussions, or even your family groups. So avoid those situations of the conflicts, either in the digital platform or in your social relationship. So the health, stability, social relationship, the stability of your social bonding is also important. So from today onwards, avoid any situation of making conflicts that can affect your mental stability or indirectly to your health also. That's why you have to avoid such kind of situations. And if you have a relationship with any person also, you manage these days with a positive approach. So if you have a good understanding of a person to person, definitely you will never worry, you will never feel any conflict in that. But you have to learn that in a process of relationship or in the progress of making as a human. So better you have to be taken care of this thing. I hope you have understood. You have to avoid such kind of social conflicts with your persons in the family members or your friend circles or any political dialogues. You have to be very much taken care of these things. And also your mental stability. Mental stability means say yourself that I am going to clear this examination, or you can also say that it doesn't matter I am going to clear or not. I'm going to perform this examination at the maximum level. These two positive thoughts must be in your mind, and the physical health with the precautionary measures you have to be taken care of. That's why the health precaution also important, because we were waiting for this examination since 2020-21, maybe the last 2, 3, 4 years. So that's why this health precaution may affect you. So that's why we need to be very much careful of that. Now I am going to discuss about the exam hall strategy. So we have discussed about all the 10 days, and the 11th day is the exam day, which is on the 5th June. What is the exam hall strategy that we should focus on? We must be taken care of. The exam hall strategy Then I already told you that you have to reach the center the day before the examination. If you have enough time, you can also visit the center which you have allocated, maybe the college, maybe some government schools. You can visit the place, you can see the atmosphere of the area, whether there is a good restaurant for having a food, whether the place is good, how the school is look like, how can we travel, how can we reach to the schools. You can visit the place of your center of examinations. If the center may not be open on the 4th or the 3rd, but on 5th day, you have to reach the examination as early as possible. It will be better to reach by 8 a.m. before the examination will be entered in the center by 8:45, and the exam will start the sharp on 9 a.m. and that's why we have to reach the center very much early. By 8 p.m. maximum, we have to reach there, and you have to note down your roll number, where your classrooms, etc. You have to find. Normally in UPSC examination will be a single seated or the bench. In bench, normally we'll have 2 people. Sometimes it's also in the infrastructure. It's depend upon the schools, the college which you are allocated. Don't worry when the infrastructure is bad or good. It doesn't matter whether the infrastructure are good, you have to be managed, because when you are appointed as a collector in the future also, you have to handle either the negative situation or the positive situations. So, and you don't have to worry about whether the bench has like some problems, you have to fix it. So you have to accept the reality and the exam hall strategy I'm going to discuss now. So that is the day of the 5th, you have to appear for the examinations. At what time we should reach the exam center? That is what I said, 1 hour before the examination. So it is better to reach the center by 8 a.m. That means 1 hour before the exam, you should reach the center. So plan accordingly. And if you take a hotel nearby the center, for example, I am going to Gauhati, the hotel I am booking for staying in the Gauhati will be near to the examination center, because I have to calculate how much time it will take to reach the center. So it is better to prefer a hotel or your stay accommodation nearest to the center. If you are staying in relative also think about the environment is fine and they should not affect you in a negative way. So that also a major concern. Then the smart watches, like when you do for yogas, when you do check your pulses, the smart watches cannot be like permittable in your examination center. Mobile phone, electric devices, earphone, etc. not allowed in examination center. So those electric devices, including mobile phone or chargers, smartwatches, etc., you can keep in your bag. If your parent or any friend is coming with you, you can give to them in a keep. Or the center will also have a separate classroom where you can keep your bags and your belongings. You will have this code also. So many of the examination center will have the separate classroom for keeping your belongings. So all these devices which are not allowed, including your wallets. Wallet also, like wallets also not allowed in the examination. Like you can see the wallet also not allowed in the examination hall. So everything must be kept away. You can keep it in your bag and you can keep it in this like the clock room of the center, or you can give to your parents. If you have a car, you can keep it in the car. Like that, you can plan. The documents that you need to get for the examination, like admit card, you have to take the printout of admit card. It does not require to be the color printed. It can be the black and whites. So either the black and white or the colorful color printout also finds. You read the instructions which UPSC have given along with the admit cards. What are the documents required for the examination? Whether the mask is mentioned, whether sanitizer is mentioned, whether the photo mentions. Like you have to read the instructions provided along with the admit card, and also confirm your location of the center, the schools of the center. You have to use the black ball pen. No blue pen, no red pen, no green pen is allowed. Only the black ball pen is allowed in the examinations for marking the OMR sheets, or the like marking of the OMR. Only the black ball pen. That means gel pen is also not allowed. So if you are like having a gel pen, avoid using gel pen. Please, you can buy 2 black ball pen as an extra one. Also, you can keep in yourself. And we cannot also use the widener. Like many of the students we have seen in the offline test series, they are using the widener when they see the mistakes. So you cannot use the widener also. You have to use the black ball pen. An extra pen you can also keep. If any mistakes, it don't have to worry about. Passport size photo also you have to keep. A passport size photo, one single photo you can also keep in your hand to verify whether you are whether the real person is coming for the examinations. So that way the passport size photo you can to keep in your with you, an identity card which you have given with the application form, whether the license card you have to take license card, license, then like driving license or Aadhaar card or the voter ID or PAN card, etc. Whichever the identity card which you have given to the UPSC examination application form, that identity original card you have to keep with you. And mask are as per the instructions. If the instructions say you have to keep a mask with you, must keep that mask also. Like these documents, while read the instruction, you will get that, and you have to get all these like documents for the exam. Now, another area I'm going to discuss is how to read the question paper to one, two, the three rounds. Like normally in achievers or the toppers of the exam say that we have to read the question paper in maximum of 3 rounds. That means first round, second round, third rounds. So before discussing the rounds of the reading the question paper, I would like to take the UPSC previous year questions here. Now I will discuss about how to read the question paper, how to start, how to go through the question paper using the red pen. This was the UPSC previous year questions of 2021. It is available in UPSC websites. If you want to check the UPSC previous year question, it is available in UPSC website where you can find the UPSC previous year question. I will also search UPSC website here, where you can get the previous year questions. Yeah, here it is the UPSC website. You can see the previous year question paper here. When you click, it will go to the UPSC previous year question paper. Like there are examination also given. Like you can say the civil service exam. You can type here. Type it correctly. I hope it will come. Indian Forest Mains Examination, Civil Service Mains Examination is here. You can go by page also. If you can't find it in the search page, Mains Examinations. Then Engineering, Combined, National Defense, Civil Service Examination here. Yeah, you can see here. So this is the exam, the question paper of 2021. Both the CSAT and GS paper is available here. Same question paper. If I click here, it will open this question paper. So the question paper will open in the website. That means if you want to check, if you want to get the previous question, it is available in UPSC website also, or you can also check any other institute, or if it is uploaded in the ACS website, your course also, you can check that. Anyway, we can see the UPSC 2021 questions. How to read the questions is the one area which I am going to discuss now. How to read the questions in a first round and second round. The first round of the examination is that I am going to attempt the question which I am familiar with that, or I would say 100% accuracy will be there. That means the questions which are 100% sure of answer or 100% familiar to me, only those questions I will attempt in the first round of the examinations. That means I am not going to attempt all the 100 questions in the first round. I am only selecting those questions which are familiar to me. That means in UPSC, we have studied a lot of things, but there will be a question which are not familiar to us. So, and the first round, I am prioritizing the questions which I am going to attempt, which are familiar to me. The answer will be right. 100% confirmed answer will be going to appear. So, the first question was asking about RBI. If I am going to appear this exam like that, RBI exam, RBI, the first question was related to RBI. If I am like going to appear this exam in that time, the first round, RBI, I know, I have studied about RBI and I will appear and I will give the answer to this question in the first round. For example, the Governor of Reserve Bank of India is appointed by central government. Yes, this is right. If that is right, I will eliminate the option B. The certain provisions of the Constitution of India give the central government right to issue the RBI public. I'm just giving a demo of reading the question paper. I'm not discussing anything in this point. We'll discuss this question in the coming through the slides. Just follow me how to read the question paper. So the question, I'm also going through the keywords. When I see the keywords, I'll also eliminate, because there is nothing talking about the constitution in the RBI acts. All the RBI directions will be on the RBI act. So this is why the second statement is wrong. The second statement is wrong. I also eliminating option D. So now all the options which is mentioned too. So I got the answer option C. So this one done. Second question I am going to appear for the second paper. Okay, second question, the casual workers are employed in India. I don't know anything about this question. I am leaving this question. So now question number 3, which among the following step most likely to be taken at the time of economic recession? Economic recession was discussed in the news. Economic recession, that means the slowdown of economy. In order to solve the economic recession, government has to spend a lot of money to boost economy. So I will read one by one. Cut in tax rate accompanied by increasing rate. This is not the right answer. Increase in expenditure of public project. This could be right. It's confirmed by other options also. Increase in the tax rates accompanied by reduction of interest rates. Not like we cannot do that. Reduction of expenditure, definitely not. So I got the right answer, option B. So I will attempt the option. This one also I attempted, and option D. This one I didn't attempt it in the first round. I'm going again to the next questions. Other things are remaining unchanged. Market demand of the good might. I don't know what is that. I'm going again. Urban cooperative bank. I have read something about this. Let's see what is the question. Urban cooperative banks are regulated. They are not regulated by only RBI can. Only RBI regulates. So that option is wrong. Eliminating. Got the answer. Yes, is also attempted. Like fifth question I have attempted now. Now out of 5, 3 I have attempted. Bond yield, I don't know what is that. Foreign currency convertible non-resident. This one also I don't know. The effect if the devaluation currency in the necessary, I don't know. I'm leaving that questions. Following effects of creation of black money. Following likely the most inflationary effects. This one I will check. Inflation was in the news. I read something about inflation. Let's see what is that. What will be the most inflationary effect? Repayment of public debt, borrowing. These are opposite concept. And the payment of which one is the most likely? So I will prefer creation of money into the finance will be the right attempt this. So like this, I'm just saying that out of 10 questions, I just attempted 3 or 4 questions in the first round. This means that the first round of the examination, when you read the question, you do not require to attempt all the number of questions. Those questions, you may not have any ideas. You will immediately skip the question and move into the next questions. That you have seen in the visuals, in the demos which I have shown you, that I am only attending those questions which I am strong enough, and the conceptually or the knowledge base, which those areas which I am strong enough, I am only attempting those questions with identifying the keywords using the elimination method. Are you able to get an idea how to go through the question paper in a first round? So first round is the minimum number of attempts, because only few number of questions you will be familiar with that. With 100% knowledge and concept, you will be able to solve the questions. So in a first round, if the paper is very much difficult, only you will get to right answers of the, or you can only attempt maximum of 80 to 20 number of questions if the paper is difficult. So within the first round of the exam, it will be consume you around 20 minutes. Within 20 minutes or 25 minutes, you will finish the first round. You will read or you will pass through the entire 100 question. Out of 100 question, you are attempting just 18 and 20 question. And the time limit for the first round is the first 20-25 minutes. The next round, that is second round, those questions you have left or you left in the first round. That means if you have attempted 20 questions, 80 questions you are left in the first round. So those 80 questions you are again reading in the second round. So in the second round also, you will use lot of the keywords, identification of right and wrong statements, using the elimination method, some logic, some guesswork, some logical and common sense, half knowledge. You will attempt maximum number of questions in the second round. Second round may be consuming 1 hour or 110 hours of the time in the second round. That means second round of the question paper reading will be you are using or you are trying to attempt maximum number of questions with using of the guesswork, using of logic, using of common sense, you will solve lot of questions in the second round. If the paper is very difficult, you might be solving question around 50 to 55 maximum number of questions you will be solving. And the third round, that is the towards the end of the hours of the exam, will be solving those remaining the topic which you left, that is 6 to 8 questions you will attempt in the third round. Very minimum number of questions we are attempting in the third round. The third round is also not a compulsory. If you have there is a time is remaining, still times are left, you can do the third round, and 6 to 8 questions you might be solving. The total attempt, if the paper is very much difficult and if depends upon your accuracy also, the average number of questions we can attempt in the difficult paper will be 74 to 83. So this is the number of questions you will be attempting in the first round, second round, and third rounds. I will also share the PPT. You can also check that. If it is a paper is moderate, in the initial, the first round also you will get more number of questions attempted because more questions are familiar to you, and you will confirm that this paper is somewhat or moderate easy. So moderate question, if it is 25 to 28 question attempts. Second round, again, you are attempting more number of questions by using guess, by using the logic common sense. 50 to 53. All the tips and tricks will work on the second round. 50 to 53 questions you will attempt in the second round. Third round, the last time, which if you have enough times, even if some remain 10 minutes, 50 minutes remaining, you will be doing the third round of 89 questions. If it is a moderate exam, you will be like attempting the maximum number of questions from 83 to 90. If it is a very easy paper, that never happened in the UPSC exam, most of the cases it is either moderate difficult or difficulty in today's the recent trend. For example, anyway, we can say if it is an easy paper, 36 to 40 questions we will be doing the first round, and second round you will be doing 48 to 50 questions, because most of the questions you already done in the first round. Second round will be 48 to 50, and the last round will be 60 to 7. You will be solving 90 to 97 maximum number of questions. The easy situation will not be there in the case of UPSC, especially if you look at the recent trend, but moderate difficult trend is there in the UPSC. So you can see that number of attempts in the first round and second round. The first round, the time consuming for first round will be 20 minutes to maximum of 30 minutes, first half an hour. The second round consuming you the maximum of the minimum of 1 hour and the 110, 115 hours. And the last 15 minutes will be on the third round. So this is where we read the question paper in the UPSC examination hall. And it is not a compulsory that you have to read first and second round. So this by practice, you can do this. Most of you might be doing 2 rounds of the question paper reading, first and second round. That is fine. If you have enough time, you can also do the third reading. But the first round will be only you are solving the number of questions which you are familiar to you, the accurate questions which you are familiar to you. So that is what the meaning of how to read the question by first round, second round, and third round, and by number of attempts, how much attempts you will be giving according to the difficulty of the paper. So this way also we will be going through the paper. Now you can take a break, and after that we'll have a discussion on the other strategies of the exam. Then along with that, we'll also solve some questions of the 2021. Some tips and tricks also will be discussed. Some question solution also will be discussing. Then we'll conclude the session. So you can take a 10 minutes break now, and we will continue the session by 8:15. Okay, you can take a break and come back at 8:15. We'll continue the session. Thank you. Okay, welcome back. lot of you have a doubt regarding the things which we need to keep in mind while the examination center, while we go to the exam hall. So like regarding the calculator, regarding the pencil, regarding the ball pen, etc. Those things we'll discuss after the sessions. The calculator is also not allowed in this when we are appearing for the CSAT examination. Calculator is also not allowed in the UPSC examination hall. So that is also, please remember. It was asked by Prabhat K.R. Mishra. Calculator is not allowed. We have to calculate with our methods we have learned in the CSAT classes, or your CSAT methods only will help you. Pencil you can carry. Faria was asked about can we carry pencil. Pencil also you can carry, pencil, pen, etc. No wallets, not smart watches. Watches is allowed, but not smart watches. Then wallet is also not allowed. Then smart, like any devices, electric devices also not allowed. So you have to go only in a blank way, like black ball pen. Black ball pen, you can choose whichever is suitable for you, comfortable for you. Somebody will fix the I don't know the names of the pen. Now different pens we are using. So you can also check which pen is good with while like marking it, while also underlining the question paper, etc. You can check with that. And you can also check, buy this pen before the exam, like not on that particular day. You have to buy this pen day before and practice it with that pen also. So it is better. So keep 2 pens, 1 pen should be an extra. Pencil also you can use. Those things you need to be keep in mind. Shoes are fine. We can wear shoes. Shoes is not a problem. You can carry money, but we cannot carry the like the purse or wallet. We cannot carry. That is one thing you need to. There will be checking before we enter into the center. There will be checkings, etc. will be there. So these things we will discuss after the session. And one more thing. Yeah, I'm going to discuss about the remaining things, do's and don'ts between the GS1 and CSAT paper. Normally, the CSAT, the GS paper will happen from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. in the morning. The morning test will be the GS paper test. The morning 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. All of us will be in the examination hall by 8:45. And by 8:55, we'll be starting signing, etc. This process. And by 9, they will give you the question paper and we'll start the test. And it will end by 11 a.m. After 11 a.m. only, everybody can leave. And we will submit the OMR sheet. We can take back the question paper with ourselves. The question paper we can take. So that way we can use this question paper for marking and elimination, etc. We can use this pen for marking, identifying the keywords, etc. After the GS1 examinations, so 11 a.m. by 11 a.m. the GS1 paper will finish and the next paper will start by 2 p.m. So between we have 3 hours of time. So what should we do between the 3 hours, between the gap of GS1 and the CSAT, and what should we do and don't do between the GS1 and GS2 is an important factor. Normally, when any test series finish by GS1 finish, the students or the aspirant will come into you and they will discuss about the GS1 paper. If you attend this discussion and they will say, you didn't attempt this question, you didn't know this topic, I have given this answer, this is the right answer, you didn't know, you have attempted this, that is mistakes. So like these discussion will be continuing, and because of that discussion, you will have that kind of stress, and it resulting into a stress in your mind. It can affect your like the strength or your confidence in appearing for the CSAT examination. So it is better to avoid any discussion on the paper 1 or the GS1 which happened in the morning. Nobody of you, that means no one of you should promote any discussion on GS1. Even your friends will be the served in center. The people you are familiar to will be in there in the center. So they will be trying to discuss on the GS1 paper which happened before. Even they will ask how was that. Non-response will respond after the CSAT exam. So it is better to avoid discussion on the GS1 paper. The 3 hours of time, you have to take a lunch because the place will be new to you. And you have to find a good restaurant and the food must be good and it should not affect your health. That also keep in mind. So you have to find a good place and lunch. You must have a lunch first. And after having the lunch, you can take your CSAT notebook or the CSAT concept. You can revise or practice some CSAT related questions. That is fine. Even if you do not feel any practice on CSAT, it's also fine. You do not require to study at that time. You can spend freely by listening to music, watching any things, and free minds. So keeping that stability of your mental stability. Then 3 hours by lunchtime, you can practice CSAT. If not, it's okay. Then appear for the CSAT exam by 2 p.m. and it will end by 4 p.m. or 4:30 p.m. So attend the CSAT paper also very well, and the time matters and you have to improve the speeds. So within these 3 hours, no discussion on the GS paper. All the discussion on the GS paper or the CSAT will only be discussed after the 4 p.m. or the 5 p.m. Till that, no discussion on the paper will help you in like appearing the exam, both the GS1 and 2 in a good manner with a good strength or mental stability. That is very much important for your examinations. That one more thing. And another thing also I want to tell you with regard to these tensions during the examination hall. Normally, when we appear for the exam, we have to fill the OMR sheet, the roll numbers, our name, or maybe our like the sender's name, the sender number, the question paper code, the question paper series, etc. We have to mark in the OMR sheet. We have to publish that the rounds. So sometime we may do the mistakes and no other additional OMR sheets will be given. No OMR sheet will be replaced. So the same OMR sheet can only be used. So even if there is any mistake, you don't have to feel any tensions. But when you fill the OMR sheet, you have to be very careful. You have to do it very slowly and slowly. And if any mistake happen, you do not have to fear anything, because we have seen that those who made mistake in the OMR sheet, UPSC have evaluated that paper and they have given a mark for that OMR sheet also. So that means even though if you make a mistake in marking or bubbling this roll number or anything, it doesn't matter. We have to, there are a lot of verification is going on that it is could be a human mistake will be considered by UPSC. So in case if you made any mistakes, you do not have to feel worry, because the examination, the invigilator who are coming to the examination hall may be told that they will be fire you, they may not be say that taking care of the correct marking of the bubbling, etc. In case if you make a mistake, don't worry, stay the same mindsets, because it never affect your UPSC examination. Even if you make a mistake, UPSC will evaluate your paper, that is for sure. So you have to keep your mind in better, a positive manner, attempt the test. That also I need to tell you. And one more thing, when you mark the OMR sheets, like once you get an answer, it is better to mark the right answer in the OMR sheet at that time. I have seen the students who are marking the bubbling the OMR sheet after the end, towards the end of the examination. So that will not work in a good way. That towards the end, if you are marking all the bubbling of the OMR sheet, there's a higher chances you are getting wrong, because there could be a chances of making mistakes or incorrect marking of the answers. So it is better to, once you confirm an answer, mark it in the OMR sheet. Like that way, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 in an order. Once the first question is got your answer, mark it there in the OMR sheet. Second question, no answer. Third question, you got an answer. Third, you can mark. Fourth question, fifth question, you didn't get, but sixth question, you got an answer. Answer was B, and mark the bubble the OMR sheet B, like that. So once you got an answer, it is better to mark in the OMR sheet. At that time, you should not wait for the end of the exam to mark the OMR sheet. In that cases, you will do wrong, because there is a pressure while you attempt an examination, attempt the test in an examination hall. So because of that, it is better to keep like marking the OMR or bubbling the answers at that time, the similar way while you get an answer. So this way you have to be very much taken care of while you do the examination hall strategy. We have discussed about examination hall strategy, the documents which you need to keep. Admit card, you have to take printout, either color print or black and white is fine. The black ball pens, you can choose whichever any companies which is better for you. We cannot use whitener. Passport size photo you have to keep with you. Identity card, all these things will be mentioned in the instructions of the admit card. Identity card which you have provided to the application of UPSC exam. Mask as per the instructions provided. In the first round and second round, third round also we have mentioned. First round, we only attempting the question which are familiar to you. Second round, the maximum number of questions we are attempting. Third round, the remaining which we have kept in. Then between the GS1 and 3 hour, we will never discuss. We will never go for discussion on GS paper. Only we'll study on the CSAT or not. We'll spend with a positive manner, listening to music, spending with good talks. A positive mindset should be there, and attempt the CSAT in a performing well and do the best. After the CSAT only we'll start discussing on the question paper. OMR sheet also, if any mistake, don't worry, continue the test. No tensions. UPSC will evaluate the paper even though if you make mistakes. And now we'll start the tips and tricks how to solve the question. Some of the tricks we have earlier discussed in the previous sessions, and today's session also I will go through some of the questions which asked UPSC in 2021 UPSC Prelims. Those questions are added and taken here. I will go through these questions. I will tell you how to find these answers, how to use the keyword strategies to find the answers. Are you ready to go through the tips and tricks? Now, I hope you have understood with regard to examination strategies, the exam hall strategies, the schedule that we need to prepare, how to invest on the CSAT, etc. These things we have discussed. This the keywords in order to check the right and wrong statement we discussed earlier also. The doubts and things we'll discuss after the session. Okay, keywords in order to check a wrong and right statement. If any keyword, these keywords we have already taken in the previous sessions. Like whenever you read a questions of UPSC, if you see any of these keywords in that particular statement, there is a higher chances it can go wrong, it can go right also. That means you have to read those statements carefully in a repeated manner. You have to highlight the keywords. So this way we will solve the questions included in these sessions. Like the only, except, excluding, all, always, entirely, completely, not been, can be, could be, all these things we have discussed earlier. So this keyword you have to keep in your mind. I have told you, you have to practice UPSC Prelims examination of 2029. You have to practice the question paper of 2029 and also 2020 and 21. While you attempt the UPSC or practice the UPSC question, you can list out these keywords in front of your table. You can post it these keywords. Whenever you see this keyword, please highlight and please read it again. You can identify this statement is wrong or not very easily. By eliminating that, you will get an answer very easily. It will save your time while you solve the questions. Okay, I'm going through the question. First question was, which I already read while I was taking a demo of 2021 questions. The UPSC Prelims 2021 question I'm discussing. Some of them will be economy, some of the question will be related to polity, some question may be related to environment and ecology, some question may be related to history. So throughout this session, some of the question I've taken from UPSC Prelims 2021. The first question in the A series was about the economy, the subject of banking sector. The one of the banking we have studied in economy is the RBI. And this year also we can expect question on RBI because RBI Act of 1934 was in the news. And RBI policy was many times was discussed in the news. That way this year also we can expect questions on the with regard to RBI concepts. So now we'll go through the question, we'll read the statement, we'll identify whether the statement is wrong or right. So Governor of Reserve Bank of India. So this question is specifically about the RBI. So Governor of Reserve Bank of India is appointed by central government. That means bodies, the institutions, the bodies, the organization, there is a governor, if there is a chairperson who are appointed by, that is a specific fact we need to study. Who appoint the election commissioner, who appoint the chief election commissioner, who appoint the UPSC chairperson, who appoint the National Human Rights Commission, etc. These constitutional bodies, non-constitutional bodies, statutory bodies, the appointment is one of the important facts we need to remember, we need to study. So in these cases also they are specifically mentioned about who appoint the governor of RBI. It is appointed by the central government. That is a fact that a student must know with regard to RBI. So if the first statement is right, we can eliminate the option 2 and 3. Without reading 2 and 3, the second stage while you solve a question is to eliminate option which doesn't mention the right statements. Now we are going to read the second statement. Certain provisions in the Constitution of India, we give central government the right to issue the direction to RBI in public interest. We have studied that with regard to RBI, all the regulations, all the rights in order to issuing directions or the regulative controlling the matters of banking sector, we have a law, we have an act which is even before the independence called as RBI Act of 1934, which came through the Government of India Act of 1935. We know that the RBI Act of 1935 is the law or the act of which deals with the banking regulations. Here the wrong was they have used that the constitutional provisions has given some right to the central government for giving and issuing the direction to RBI in public interest. There is no such provisions mentioned in the constitutions in the case of issuing direction to RBI in the case of public interest by central government. So this way, using the constitutional provision, they have made a wrong statement here. We know that only the RBI Act, this is the base fact or the base knowledge a person must know or the aspirant must know. So whether there is any mention of constitution with regard to RBI, whether it's only talked about RBI Act of 1934. So this is why the second statement is go wrong. If the second statement is go wrong, we will eliminate option D, 1, 2, and 3. So the last one option also, which is right, the governor of RBI draws his power from the RBI Act. That way, the third statement is also right. and which is no any negative words here. So they draw from the RBI Act of 1934 is also the basic knowledge that we should know. So the right answer to this question was option C, 1 and 3. The mistake they have given. That means that the UPSC will make mistakes in the statement only with the basic knowledge. The basic knowledge with regard to RBI that every aspirant should know, it's dealt with RBI Act of 1934, and there is RBI regulation of 1949. When there is nationalized, then we have come up with a RBI regulation of 1949. These are the two laws with regard to RBI regulation, RBI, the banking sector laws. So because of that, we know that there is no any provisions in the constitutions. That basic knowledge, we got the right answers here. Now another question with regard to economic recessions. Again, this was asked in 2021 UPSC Prelims. Again, an economic questions in the series A. Economic recession, we know that during the pandemic time, we have faced an economic slowdown, and it went on the economic recovery stages because government has pushing a lot of effort for recovering the economy. We went to the V-shaped economy. So there was a economic recession in the face of the pandemic challenges during the lockdown of the first wave and the second wave. So economic recession was the challenge that faced by the government. Because of the current affair context, as part of the economy syllabus, they have asked this particular question in 2021. This time also economic recession or fiscal stimulus. This is concept with regard to fiscal stimulus. When any economy is facing an economic slowdown, it need to boost economic activity. For boosting economic activity, government will stimulate many fiscal or financial, or the government will spend a lot of amount for boosting economy. That means if government is increasing the spending, it also means that government is increasing the expenditure for the public project, for the public goods. That means spending on MSMEs in the budget, we have seen that the spending on MSMEs also means that the economic activities of startup, economic activities of MSME enterprises, if that is improved, their economic activity will be increased, and through that employment also will be increased, employment generation will happen. Through that people will get employed, people get income, and the many economic activity will happen, and in this cycle of economy it will result into economic growth. Through that we can address economic recession. So the fiscal stimulus is one of the concepts which is related to economic recession. Fiscal stimulus is one of the strategy government use in order to address the problem of economic recession. So which of the following step that can be taken when any economy face economic recessions? And we know that it is to increase the government expenditure. If that concept is like we are clear or clear, if you have a clarity with regard to the fiscal stimulus concept or economic recession concept, then you can easily eliminate the opposite concept, that reduction of expenditure on public projects. Is it right? Like those concepts which are opposite, you learn that the concept in the case of economic recession, you learn increasing expenditure or spending or fiscal stimulus can only boost the economy. Through that we can solve the economic recession. So the opposite concept of this is reducing the expenditure, that can again go more on deep of economic recession. So that's why option D is the direct elimination in the case. Cutting tax rate accompanied by increasing interest rate does not have any relation with the solving or addressing the economic recession. Because of that also option A also eliminate. Increasing tax rate also does not have any relation with that. So we will eliminate option A and B. The right answer to this particular question by conceptual knowledge is increasing the expenditure on public projects. So that means UPSC is asking only the conceptual clarity of certain economic concepts, even though those are in the news. So if you are knowing what is economic recession, how to address economic recession, what are the methods used by the Indian government in order to address the problem, and government was used fiscal stimulus at that time in the budget, they have asked this question in the UPSC Prelims 2021. So basic knowledge only they are asking. So B was the right answer. And there's another question in the UPSC Prelims 21 was asked about the demand and income related concept, the market demand for good, like related, those concept was asked in 2021. This one also related to the concept knowledge of economy with regard to demand and income of the public or the consumers. You can see that. So the concept here, they're checking whether we have a knowledge on the demand and what is the effect on the income, what is the changes when if demand increases, what is the changes happen to income increases with regard to demand. So demand and income relationship is the concept that we have to learn in these particular questions. If you know the concept, you can easily solve the question. first statement. For example, we are going through the statement. The question was, consider the following statement. Other things remaining unchanged. That means everything is unchanged. Only the following factors will be considered. The market demand for a good. That means a good in the market. A good, that means a commodity and objects. For a commodity, the good in a market, the demand for a good might increases. That means demand for a particular good is increasing in which of the following cases. So the price of its substitute increases, that we don't know. Price of its complement increases, even that statement also we cannot confirm. Then the third statement, if you are reading, the good is an inferior good and income of the consumer is increases. This is the concept which we can apply some logic, some common sense, some concept of demand and income. If you apply this concept in the statement 3, you will be able to solve this question particularly. So other things may be confusing you. You may not be able to confirm whether it is right or wrong because there is no any particular detailed data with regard to that. So I am taking the statement 3 and I know the inferior good. Inferior goods means that some of the goods, we call it as inferior goods, means that like the noodles, the Maggi noodles, which are affordable to the public. When we have a low income and we will always try to spend less money on our goods. So inferior goods means that those goods which are affordable to us. Like for example, the Maggi noodles will only cost you maximum 10 or 20, 25, 30, 30, 45, etc. So we'll go for purchasing these inferior goods when we have low income. If there is a higher income, if income of the consumer is increasing, we will never prefer to go again for Maggi. We will go for any restaurant to have a good food because we have money, our income also increase. For example, now today, I have an income of 100 rupees. With this 100 rupees, I have to manage the breakfast, I have to manage the lunch, I have to manage the dinner. So I took the noodles, for example, the Maggi. We are taking the Maggi for morning. And also lunch, I went for the outside for some normal thali. For example, 50 rupees for thali. And I've spent 10 rupees for the Maggi for the breakfast. And in the evening also I have to find a dinner. So I spent it on the Maggi noodles for 20 rupees. So I spent it around 80 rupees for the food management of the day. Even that is not good. But the inferior good helped me with the limited income. So, but tomorrow, the next day, I got 1,000 rupees as an income. 1,000 rupees I got an income. Now, today, I will never go for purchasing the same Maggi because I have money. I can at least go for a biryani, or I can at least go for a sadhya, or at least I can go for a special thali, or I can at least go for some special food available in the KFC or McDonald's because our income has increased. So we will never prefer the inferior good which was affordable day before, because the inferior good were taking because the income was low and we have to manage the expenses within the limit. But the income now increased and we can afford more than or expensive cost. We can spend on the expensive cost. So we will prefer or according to our interest. So that means the goods, the inferior good, the demand will never increase when the income of a consumer increases. Because of that, the third statement is an opposite concept. That means when income of a consumer decreases only, the demand for the inferior good will increase. That means Maggi kind of things, it will only increase when our income is less. When our income is increasing, we will never prefer for inferior good, that demand is decreasing. The question is that the demand must increase. So if in these cases, it is an opposite way they have written in the statement. This is why the third statement is wrong. If the third statement is wrong, we can directly eliminate the option mentioned, option 3. Then finally, we'll get answer option 1 and 4. 1 and 4 is the right answer to this question. Even we couldn't confirm statement 1 and 4, but by eliminating the concept knowledge of demand and income, especially the inferior good, we got the right answer to this question. So this way, if you study the concept well, very simple concept well, you will get an answer to this particular question by applying your logics. Another question with regard to inflation. This year also inflation was in the news and discussed in the economic survey. That's why inflation, the concept with regard to inflation, types of inflations, the methods to control inflation, etc. are important for our prelims examination. So this 2021, they have asked one question with regard to inflation. Which of one of the following is likely to be the most inflationary in its effects? Inflation, the simple definition, inflation will say that people or the public has the lot of money in their hand. So lot of money in our hand, we will go for purchasing lot of the goods in outsides. So that means it can resulting into higher demands, and there is no sufficient supply to satisfy the demand of the public because public has a lot of money. So in this particular question, which of the following can increase the inflation? That means already there is an inflation, and which of the following can again increase or affect on inflations or most likely affect? So which one will be the most effectively effect on inflation in an economy was the question. The opposite concept in this is that when government borrowing money from the public, that means taking money from the public, it is taking money from the public means controlling inflation, taking money back is a controlling money supply. So borrowing, the concept of borrowing from either the public or the bank is mean by is a control, taking back the money from the public or taking back from the bank is means controlling the money supply, reducing the inflation. So in this, because of that opposite concept of inflation or increasing inflation, the decreasing concept of borrowing we can eliminate. Now we have two options remaining. One is option A and option D, the repayment of public debt and the creation of new money to the finance a budget deficits. Government has taken maybe a lot of money. When any inflation is happened, the repayment of public debt, if the government is paying back the money to public or the bank, for example, or in the market, that means again government is giving money because the debt the government was taken, which we are again giving back to the public. This can also resulting into inflation, but here the question was asking about most inflationary effects, because the repayment of public debt was not has created any new money. The already like available money has been paid to the public. That means it can resulting in inflation, but not the most. So the most inflationary effect in this case is the creation of new money. That means additional money again injected into the market, into the public for financing the budget deficits, resulting into most inflationary effects. This is why option D was the right answer. So this is again the conceptual based questions in the prelims examination 21. So especially in the case of economy, the most of the questions are asking about the conceptual clarity of the economy related concept like inflation, national income, the forex reserve, RBI monetary measures, etc. Then another related the questions I'm discussing with regard to ecology current affair. This was asked in 2021 with regard to blue carbon. How many of you are familiar with the concept of blue carbon? How many of you are familiar with blue carbon? Around 60, 20, 20. Yeah, 20-25 of you are familiar with the blue carbon. Anyway, if you're not familiar with the blue carbon, what can be referred as blue? Can somebody suggest what can be referred as blue? There are terms like blue economy are there. Yes, ocean, water, this, or even we can also sky is there. Yes, that is there. But mostly a blue kind of words or blue economy we have seen in the case of like economic terms or the ocean related or marine resources. There are concepts like blue economy, blue carbon, marine, ocean. It is somewhat related to ocean or marine. So this is an ABCD type questions. If you do not know what is exactly the blue carbon, but you know it is somewhat related to ocean or marine, you will get an answer to this particular question by understanding the logic or common sense or subconscious knowledge or conceptual knowledge about the blue carbon. While you read the options, option A has a mentioned about which is the carbon captured by the ocean and the coastal ecosystem. That means you understood that blue means somewhat related to ocean or marine, and I think that option A is somewhat will be right. Then we will read the option B, carbon suggested in a forest, biomass and agriculture soil. We cannot confirm. There is no word of the oceans or marine. We'll eliminate. Then we will read the option C, carbon attained in petroleum, natural gas also not right. Carbon present in atmosphere also we cannot consider. So the right answer we feel it is option A, because we have read something about blue economy which is related to ocean, or blue carbon is also maybe related to ocean. By understanding this, some knowledge like half knowledge or maybe some reading of this blue carbon or blue economy with regard to ocean, With that, we will be able to solve the questions of the this particular question. Now, from the next question onwards, I will give you the question in the poll, and you have to solve by like applying, like answering by the polls. I will launch the poll to the question. After that, I will discuss these questions. So this question was asked in 2021 with regard to ancient India, the IVC sites. This was question with regard to IVC sites in the news. I will launch the poll. You can solve this question. Maybe this question may be already discussed in history class. I don't know. Let's see. You can solve this question. Which one of the following ancient town is well known for its elaborate system of water harvesting and management by building a series of dams and channelizing water into connected reservoirs? This was related to current affair, the ancient India current affair based on IVC sites in the news. Is the time's up? I'm going to end the poll, showing you the result. Majority voted for the option A, Dholavira, 62%, and B, 16%, option C, 18%, option D, 4%. So IVC site, if any IVC Indus Valley civilization sites discussed in the news, we can expect questions on those sites particularly, because we cannot remember all the IVC sites and the fact with regard to IVC, but we can understand, we can study the sites which were discussed in the news. And this time, recently, there was a discussion on Ragi Garhi. Ragi Garhi is an IVC site located in Haryana, which is located in India. One of the important IVC sites recently discussed in the news because of some excavations of the human, like this cattle, and there was a DNA test, etc. were conducting for more details about the studies. So Ragi Garhi, one of the IVC site was discussed. So in future, this year prelims, please study about Ragi Garhi. Kalibangan is one of the oldest IVC sites. One of the oldest site was the Alibangan. So some of the site has special features, special interesting facts. You have to study that. In this particular question, the right answer was the Dholavira. This was discussed in the news last year due to the UNESCO's World Heritage Sites added Dholavira site into the list. Because of that, the Dholavira was discussed in the news. And when we study the IVC, we know that the IVC site with the reservoir was the Dholavira. That was the basic knowledge we have to learn from the IVC site, especially when with regard to the Dholavira sites. So Dholavira is one of the IVC sites which has a reservoir. If any student have studied this fact, they will be able to get an answer right within a few seconds of this Dholavira, because it was a current affair and they have revised and they have studied the basic knowledge of Dholavira. Similarly, I would suggest for this year prelims, please study of Ragi Garhi as well as the Kalibangan. Kalibangan is important because it is an oldest site, and Ragi Garhi was recently in the news. So it located in Haryana, or location based also we can expect, or river along with the sites also we can expect question. Ragi Garhi you have to study for this year prelims. Now another questions, I will launch the poll with regard to Government of India. This is part of your two syllabus. One is the modern India as well as the polity, the history of Indian constitutions. So I'm launching the poll. You can start giving the answers by reading the statement. These are two statement type question. The Montagu-Chelmsford reforms of 1990 recommended granting voting rights to all women above the age of 21. The second statement is the Government of India Act of 1935 gave the women reserved seats in the legislature. This question is with regard to the major provisions of Government of India Act, especially the previous or before Indian independence. Government of India Act of 1909, 1919, 1935, and there are other Council of Act, Indian Council of Act are there. So all these acts are important as part of your modern India as well as the polity, regulating act, etc. So please read and study of those, revise those concepts. Every year UPSC have asked a question on with regard to these act and provisions. Okay, let's see. Let's see the statement first. Okay, we will go through the statement. The question was asking about 1919 Montagu-Chelmsford reform. It is also called as Government of India 1919. So we have studied the major provisions of the Government of India Act 1919. What are the provisions with regard to right to vote? What were the provisions with regard to budget presentation, budget discussion, etc.? The unjust representation in the council. So there are certain facts we need to study in the 1919, whether there was a provincial hierarchy, whether there is a central hierarchy. So some major provisions we need to study with regard to the Government of India Acts. So in this particular question, they have included the Government of 19 and Government of 1935 Acts. So the statement first it said that voting rights of women, and it said that a keyword is there, all the women above the age of 21. So we have studied that in 1919 Act, there was a voting right was given to women, but it is not a all the women. So the keyword I already mentioned, like all, always, completely, entirely, sometime in most of the cases go wrong. So here the keyword was the all, the word all. See that the all word, because of the use in the all word, if there is no all word, given the voting right is right, but all the women, the age of above the age of 21, because of this use in the keyword, it went wrong. So by identifying the keyword, and even though there was a provision of giving right to women, but not to the all women above age 21, there is no any universal adult suffrage system provided in the 1919 Act. This is why the first statement is wrong. If the first statement is wrong, we know that we can eliminate option 1 as well as we can also eliminate option C. Now we have to read these statements too. So between this understanding the concept by using the keyword, identifying the keyword, we at least eliminated the 50 option. That means only remaining now with us is 50-50 chances of option B and either option D. The Government of India Act of 1935, the next statement is Government of 1935 gave women a reserved seat in legislature. This was also a right fact. When you study the 1935 Act, another major provisions of the Act was giving the human rights, the seats reserved for the women in the legislature, also given in the Government of 1935 major provisions. This is why the second statement is right. Second statement is right. So the answer to this question was the right answer to this question was option B, 2 only. So we'll see how many of you got the right answer. I will share you the result. Majority have got the right answer, 53%. I'm happy for that, because of that you are revising the modern India and as well as the polity related to regulating Government of India Acts. So because of the keyword also, you can easily eliminate the option A, and the B was the right answer in the case of 1935. So option A, 11%, option C, 15%, 21%, option B. So those who made mistake, it's okay. You are learning in this process. Now in the future question, when you see future question, you have to improve yourself and you have to get the right answer. The right answer to this question is option B. Those who made the right answer, congratulations. Those who made mistake, you are learning. It's in the right process again. So you are learning in the how to solve questions by practice. You are improving it and you will be perform well in the next question. Now the next question, I will discuss the question, then I will show you the result. So the first statement was asking about, like mentioned about where this palm oil is native to, or where this palm oil is originally found in. So the palm oil tree is native to Southeast Asia is the first statement as mentioned. If you know the basic knowledge about if you have studied the basic knowledge about palm oil or the palm oil resources, you know that the palm oil, the oil palm, was a native to Africa and it is not to the Southeast Asia. So here the statement went wrong because of it is incorrectly given the native area, which is only Africa. It is not Southeast Asia, but it is brought from Africa to Southeast Asia over the 100 years ago, and now Indonesia and Malaysia, which are part of Southeast Asia, now make up 85% of the global supply of this oil palm industry. So in this particular statement, UPSC have made a little wrong statement by using a native of this particular palm oil, which is Africa. So because of that, an incorrect using of the different areas or regions of Southeast Asia in place of Africa, the first statement went wrong. Because of that, by eliminating the option 1 also will get answer. If you do not know, even in this one, you might be choosing 1, 2, 3 by applying the keywords. Let me also go through the keywords of these statements. You can see the can be used. In the third statement, there is a keyword. The can be is a keyword, is talking about possibility. So it can be used to produce biodiesel. It is an edible oil. Definitely it can be produced. It can be used for biodiesel. It is also an energy policy part of India. So by using this keyword of possibility, especially in the development, it is rights. So 3 is rights also. So those statement which does not mention 3, we can eliminate. That is option A. Then some industries in CSAT also we have studied, it is a positive manner. Some industries, it's not talking about all the industries. Even this keyword, some industries producing lipsticks. So this palm oil raw material are used in the some industries for producing lipstick and perfume is also will be right because of the positive words, a possibility keywords is there. So by understanding 2 and 3 also there. So the factual error in this statement is the location. The native places of the Africa replaced with Southeast Asia. That is the knowledge. But most of the cases you will get like 50-50. You can at least eliminate. So the right answers to this question was 2 and 3. We'll see the result. So around 49% of your voter majority went for 1, 2, 3. That is okay. Even sometimes the guesswork go wrong. I am not saying that always this guesswork will get right answer, but very minimum chances you go wrong. By going through this keyword, by identifying the keywords, by applying your common sense and logic, you will get more right answer than going wrong. So in these cases, it's okay to make mistakes. 14%, 19% voted option B, the right answers. Those who made it right, congratulations. And the 90% voted option A. So this way we have to solve the questions. I'm going through the next questions. We are about to conclude the session. Going through the next slides. Very few questions are there only. Geography, river. River also this time we can expect question especially on the peninsular river system, because in the budget session there was a discussion on interlinking of river, especially the peninsular river. Already the the Ken Betwa river linking project was reduced. Apart from the Ken Betwa, government also proposed another 5 more river interlinking project. This is why the peninsular river system, we can expect a question in this year. So map all the rivers of the peninsular river, the origin and the location, the tributaries, the states which pass through, etc. These things. So this year, the 2021, there was a question with regard to Indus River. Which of the following which join directly with the Indus River? When we studied the Indus River, we have made some the code of these tributaries of Indus River. So the one of the tributaries of the few tributaries of the Indus River, we have made a code as ICJ. That is Indus, Chenab and Jhelum are some of the code we have made to study for Indus River system. So if anybody have like used this coding methods in the like ICJ in an order, so if which of the following river will directly like join with the Indus, with assuming some like guesswork in this particular question, what I did was I know this code ICJ, which is part of Indus River system or tributaries of Indus system I've studied, which are Indus, Chenab and Jhelum. And I have seen these options. There is no Indus. Indus is already in the questions. Now, which one is the second? The second one, I know that it is Chenab. So I went for the option Chenab. So the right answer to this question was also the option A, the Chenab. So even the some code, if you make in an order of sequences of their connection or tributaries, you will get the right answers. So this is also such kind of a guesswork by using the code languages in remembering the rivers sometimes help in solving questions. Even this question was very difficult. If you only know the map only, you will get the right answer. But I went for the guessing. ICJ, I only know that after Indus, it is Chenab. In the C, it is coded. So I went for the Chenab and Jhelum is the third, which I know. So I went for the Chenab and the right answer to the question was also A. So this way also you will get the guesswork. By applying the guesswork, you will get right answer to certain questions. So this way you can also solve many questions by using the guesswork, by using your study methods. So these things also included in your slides. These things I will share you the PPT. You can go through that. And you can also check how this statement went wrong and right. Polity, some related questions also added in these tips and tricks. Because of the lack of time, and concluding the section, already the number of attempts, number of the questions which we have to attempt, already discussed it with you in the previous session. Again, I have included in this session also. You can also look back to the same table and analyzing your accuracy level. And revolt of 1857 in case of modern India, it is very relevant. So when you read the 1857 for a revision part, You do not require to read the entire content of the 8057 revolt. You have to read selectivity of the 8057 revolt. Even when you take a chapter, for example, I don't have the spectrum note with my hand, or when you revise the PPT of the 8057 revolt of Ishala ma'am, you can take that content. You can go through the 8057 revolt. You do not require to read the entire paragraph. If it will consume a lot of time. So you just have to focus what were the event before the 8057 revolt. We have studied Paika rebellion. You get to know the timeline, Vellore mutiny, Ahom revolt, Sandal rebellion. So these are the events happened before 8057 are relevant this year. You can just go through and check the data with regard to that. What was the immediate cause of the 8057 revolt? We know that it was during the Lord Canning 8057 revolt was happened during 8056. He has come up with an act called as General Service Enlistment Act. So this usage of this grease by using the pig, which has affected religious sentiment of the military or the Sipahis, and whereas the immediate cause of the 8057 revolt. So immediate cause we need to focus. Where the movement has started, we studied it was in the Meerut. So another area of question you can expect on the centers of the movement. We have studied Delhi was a center, Bihar was a center, Kanpur was a center, Lucknow was a center, Jhansi was a center, Bareilly was a center. So who were the leaders of these centers will be the such kind of question you can expect in the prelims, like match the pairs. One side they will give you the storm centers of 8057 revolt. Another side, the leaders of those centers. So list out the leaders of these centers like Bahadur Shah and General Bhaktavan was the commander. Bihar, it was Kanwar Singh. Kanwar Singh was a current affair this year. So you have to study about Kanwar Singh. Jhansi, it was led by the Rani Lakshmi Bai representing from Jhansi. Nana Sahib from Kanpur. Begum Hazrat Mahal from Lucknow. Khan Bahadur from Bareilly. Like that's the leaders and their storm centers is one area we have to study. Another area is the historical opinion of 8057 revolt. For example, V.D. Savarkar, in his work on his books on the first war of Indian independence, he has described that the 8057 revolt is a planned war of national independence. So then we can expect a question, who among the following described the 8057 revolt as the planned war of national independence? This way the questions are coming. So you have to study which of the historians' opinion or described the 8057 revolt like this, the first war of independence, planned war of national independence. Like those facts also you have to focus a lot. Then impact, you know that after the 8057 revolt, there are a lot of governance changes happened to the British India. So the Queen Proclamation was issued after the 8057 revolt. 8058, the Council of Act of 8061, etc. What were the changes made after the 8057 revolt? These things can be such kind of question we can expect in the future. And in the case of Governor General and Viceroys in the modern India, we have to study lot of Governor General, lot of Viceroys are there. So you do not, again I will tell you, you do not require to study the entire Governor General and Viceroy, but you can take some of the impact, like some of the important Governor General, like Warren Hastings was in the news. Lord Wellesley, the subsidiary alliance introduced by Lord Wellesley. Lord Ripon was another Viceroy, which is compassionate towards India. He was a person which is compassionate towards India. He is also considered as the father of local self-government in India. So Lord Ripon, the opposite of Lord Ripon was Lord Lytton. All the policies of Lytton was against India's interest. So you have to study of Lord Lytton. Lord Dalhousie, the doctrine of lapse. Doctrine of lapse is also important in the case of the 8057 revolt, even in the case of Rani Lakshmi Bai cases. So Lord Dalhousie, the doctrine of lapse. So some of the Governor General or Viceroys are important. So you have to study and emphasize, you have to give on those the Viceroys or Governor General, and you have to study the event associated with them. And also we have shared the important historical year-wise the anniversary topic. I don't know whether you got this. Have you got this anniversary list of topics in your group? Okay. If that, it will be good. I have made a list of topics for the history, like anniversary basis. Some of the topics are relevant this year because of the anniversary. So a list of anniversaries were listed out. along with some of the current affair topics of the history also listed in the for the prelims 2022, and the list also been provided to you. So when you revise the history topic, you please go through this timeline, this important topic for this year also. You have to give emphasis, and we can expect questions on these areas for this year. So then these are the things I need to discuss with you, and I would like to conclude the sessions. And if anything we need to discuss, we'll be discussing in the upcoming sessions. We'll have a budget session on Friday and Saturday. We'll finish the budget sessions, and those things will be discussed. If anything need to be done, you will be done in the future in the classes. And you make a plan and do it well and execute the plan well. Everybody can make a plan, but it's also a matter how you execute it. Those who execute the plan, they will clear this exam.